What's up, Talk Nation? My name is Chanel, and you are now listening to the Chanel Talks podcast. And if you are new to my podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome you with open arms. And right now, um, I live in the LA area. If anybody did not know that I live in the LA area, I'm here to tell you that I do live in LA. And I live kind of by downtown LA. Not really in downtown LA, but I live close by. It's not that far from me at all. I live on the outskirts of downtown Los Angeles, and it's been crazy here in Los Angeles. As you guys see on the news, we got protesting going on right now. We have the P. Diddy parties. But let's start from the beginning. Earlier this year, we had the Palisades fire where a lot of the fires, Palisades, Eaton, a whole lot of fires just going on and leaving people without homes, burned to the ground. They didn't have firefighters didn't have enough water to put these fires out. Fire hydrants was running out of water. Um, and then we didn't have enough, what was it, helicopters, the ones that suck up the water and put out the fires, suck up the water and you can hose the fires in the air. Those little helicopters that supposed to put the water. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we didn't have enough, and then other people from Mexico started coming to help, and then we had other people from different all over US coming to help, and Canada and things like that from nearby by countries and states coming to help us because we just had so many fires and we didn't have enough people to put them out because there was literally like fires across the whole LA, Los Angeles, and different cities. And it was scattered and you know, people houses were burning down and it was ridiculous. It was like, why can't y'all put these fires out? Like I remember like the whole world was like basically all my family from different parts of the United States was just like calling me, making sure that I'm okay, making sure that the fires wasn't close to me. Thank God I wasn't near any of those fires. Thank God. As you can see, the whole world was watching these fires, the whole entire world, and we needed help. And everybody came to our rescue, and people got put out of their homes, and there was nothing. I mean, there was nothing people could come back to. Their houses were completely burned down with everything they have worked hard for. And as you know, California is not an easy state to live in. You know, people pay high rent, people pay high mortgage. You know, it's still bills and things like that to keep up with, and car insurance is high, and just everyday living situations is expensive. You know, our gas prices was up 5, 6, $7, and then in some places I seen $7 for gas. I'm like, $7 a gallon, that is insane. It would be like 6.90 something. So round that up and it's seven. You know what I'm saying? And so gas prices was up around that time. Food food prices was going up because of the bird flu. So those are things that we had to think about. So the bird flu was going on top of the fires. People didn't have nowhere to go. They had these uh little recreation centers where they were feeding people, clothing people and things like that because people were not able to bring their belongings, and like a lot of people wanted to save their pictures from family members that passed. They wanted to save all those memories. And so it was just very hard for those people to like know what to save and what not to save. And they just wanted to get their stuff, out. And then people were just trying to save their homes because, people put their blood, sweat, and tears into their homes. You know what I'm saying? It costs a lot of money to get a home. It costs a lot of money to build a house. And no matter who you are, what you are, I mean, a home is everything. This is where you lay your head. This is where you go to sleep in. This is where you have every moment. This is where you build your family, is your home, right? Your house. So those people were, you know, losing everything. And we're still keeping those people in our thoughts and prayers because they was losing literally everything. They even had to leave their cars on different parts of the freeways and things like that. Be in a bulldozer, as you've seen, just ran right in through traffic, moving all those cars. People had to get out of their cars and walk because the fires was just so bad and moving uh, extremely fast, and they just had to leave their cars on the freeway because it just was not safe at the time. And they were blocking traffic because, you know, in California we have thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So thousands and thousands of people had to evacuate, you know, so it jammed traffic because firefighters was trying to come through, and different people were trying to save different parts of businesses and banks, and you know, because a whole city has burned down, a whole entire city, multiple cities. It wasn't just one; it was multiple cities were burned to the ground, and the fires was just moving so rapidly they just could not save them. And then, like as the fires was getting close to other cities, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to save more cities from getting burned down because it was like, dang, this whole city burned down. Let's try to save the next city. You know what I'm saying? Because the fires was just so rapid, they didn't have no control over it. And then the winds were picking up. You know, those flames was just everywhere, and it was just insane, and the whole world watched that. So that's what's going on earlier this year. Also, we have the P. Diddy trial. You know, a lot of celebrities have came out and they're exposing P. Diddy. You know, celebrities like Jay-Z, um, what's his name? Cat Williams, his security guard, bodyguard, I don't even know who he is. He's been saying a lot of the things about P. Diddy. Usher has came out and said some things, but not really saying anything. Everybody's been trying to call on Justin Bieber for him to talk. He haven't really been saying anything. And then, you know, there's just a lot going on with the P. Diddy trial, which is out here in LA. And P. Diddy has been getting exposed. A lot of celebrities actually have been getting exposed as well. So it's just, you know, 50 Cent has been exposing P. Diddy and surrounding P. Diddy, because a lot of things were happening with P. Diddy freak offs, and then um, Bad Boy Records, which is the enter, entertainment industry, you know, P. Diddy record label. So they've been talking about the freak offs, about him. They've been exposing him personally, exposing these parties, what been going on, and then how other people are suffering from and traumatized by these P. Diddy parties. So that's also going in LA. So another thing that's going on in LA right now is the protests. A lot of people are getting kicked out of their homes once again, not only due to the fire, but because they are immigrants and migrants. They're having to leave their homes, and um yeah, ICE is just taking over LA and all around California. They have been pulling people from construction sites. So if you go to work on a construction site, ICE may pull up to your job and just detain you, and you're not allowed to say goodbye to any of your family members. You're not allowed to take anything that you worked hard for. And then also, they've been taking people from the fashion district, which is the hugest district in downtown LA. A lot of people, we have multiple fashion districts in LA, multiple. So pretty much the whole downtown LA is like a fashion district where you can buy jewelry, clothing, party supplies, house supplies, you name it, they sell everything down there. Comforters, If you have a quinceanera, they sell flowers. If you need something for a funeral, something for a prom, something for a wedding, if you just want to have an everyday look, if you need accessories, they just have everything down there for sale. And most of those people that owns those shops and, renting those shops and selling things are Hispanic people, Hispanic and migrants. So those are the people that's really down there working. You will see a lot of Hispanics down there working, selling flowers, selling food, selling just different things that you can go down and purchase. And the things are very high quality, very nice. And you can buy any and everything that you ever imagine to buy down there. So yeah, it's just very sad people. And then also I've been going through neighborhoods door to door getting people. And then also I've been have been going up to schools. They've been when kids get out of school and the parents are there waiting for their kids, ICE is coming and they're IDing people. When people are dropping their kids off to school and ICE is coming in there asking for IDs, and then people are scared to even watch their kids graduate because of ICE and everything that's going on down there with the whole graduation, because you don't know if ICE is going to be waiting for you or asking for your ID and things like that. So ICE has been out. The military has been out ready to detain and get immigrants and migrants out the country. And they say they're supposedly illegal migrants and immigrants, but the thing is, some of those Hispanic people that they've been detaining are American, been in America their whole life, never have lived anywhere else, and they're being detained as well, as you can see on the news. And then people been coming out saying we don't even know if we're safe just because we're Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, wow, it's just a sad thing to watch, because it's just like, damn, you worked everything so hard for everything you own, everything you have, your apartment, your house, your car, your rent, your bills, because let's all know in California the rent is high. People know this. And it's just sad because people come out here and they're saving their whole lives to come out here and pursue their dreams, because this is supposed to be the land where your dreams come true. I mean, people come all over the world to pursue their music careers, their acting careers, their modeling careers, them trying to be a comedian, or them just trying to have a better life, period. So it's just like these are people dreams and goals here in LA, where people are trying to meet, trying to pursue their careers, and this is supposed to be the land where the dreams come true, right? So everybody's like literally saving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to come here, live, so they can pursue their goals and dreams. And then some people come out here just because they want a better life, because maybe their country where they were living was getting bombed. And as you see, Russia was getting bombing Ukraine. So just imagine. And then we seen Haiti on the news when they had that big old earthquake, and hundreds and thousands of people were left without power, were left without homes, because the earthquake was so massive it destroyed everything. And then the way that the country was built as well, and it just destroyed a lot of things. And then we also been seeing with Gaza, the kids, you watch those reels, and then it was like, this may be graphic, but then you click on it anyway, and you can see those people literally running from missiles, getting bombed, kids dead. They've been showing dead bodies, and it's just a lot going on. And it's just so sad that this is what the world of humanity is going through. And like, we've been hearing a lot, we've been seeing a lot. You know, there's just a lot going on. And then I feel kind of, I feel sad. I'm definitely sad. I am definitely sad. A lot of my friends are Hispanic. A lot of my friends have paid thousands of dollars to go to these refugee camps and then come here to America. So basically, I have numerous of people who told me they paid 45,000, $20,000, $12,000, $10,000, 25,000, 35,000, 30,000, and things like that to come over here to these refugee camps to get into America. Yes, they have paid that to come to the refugee camps to come to America. And when you go to a refugee camp, it's kind of like jail, but it's not really jail, but it is because you're detained and you're not really free. Let's put that out there. You're not really free. You're still kind of like detained. Like you could talk to people, but you're detained. And then, so a lot of people, they pay thousands and thousands of dollars to go to these refugee camps to get into America. A lot of people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get across the border. And then once you cross those borders, those thousands of dollars still don't pay for you to like work in the country. It's just bringing you over here, right? So then, once you paid your thousand of dollars to cross the border and come to America, you're really left with no resources. Honestly, you're not left with any resources. So pretty much you have to come out here with nothing because you're only allowed to like a backpack or a suitcase. um, yeah, you're only allowed a backpack or a suitcase. They pick it out for you. They go through everything. They tell you what you can bring and what you can't bring. And yeah, and it's very small suitcase, very small backpack. So you're not even allowed to bring the stuff that you went into the refugee camp. You're not allowed to even bring that into the United States. So everything that you brought into the refugee camp, you can't even bring half of that stuff into the United States. You can't even bring half of that stuff into the refugee camp because before you go in, they're picking things out of your belongings and then you can enter the camp. And then when you go into the United States, they're picking those things out and then you can only bring a certain amount of things into the United States. In case you did not know. And then when you come over here after you didn't pay that thousand of dollars, you really are stuck with nothing. Okay? Because you only have like a small suitcase or a small backpack. And now here in California, it gets really hot. It gets really cold. It's raining season. So we have all those weather conditions that people don't really know about. And so they don't have no clothing. And then these people are trying to look for work under the table jobs, as they call them, because they're trying to get under the table jobs. And they don't really have the proper clothing. They don't have the work boots. They don't have the stuff that the job requires you to have. So then they're depending on family members to like get this stuff for them. And half of the family members are like, hey, we're struggling too. We can't even afford to give you these things. And then finally, when they do get under the table jobs, they're working to pretty much get their papers, which is a very long process. Okay. A very long process where once and then let's talk about the under the table jobs. Under the table jobs are not even guaranteed money. A lot of these people that does these under the table jobs don't even get paid. Let's talk about that. They can't even get paid for the work they have did for a day. They might do 12 hours and the workers, that the people that they're working for probably won't even pay them, won't even give them the money. And then these people have to harass and fucking threaten these people to pay them. Let's talk about that because they're not even paying because they're like, well, this is an under the table job and this is not guaranteed money. And you're just like, not guaranteed money. I'm literally trying to come over here and work. because I need money to pay for my papers. And they can't even get paid like that. So then after they do end up saving up the money to get paid, they have to go to immigration federal building. So in order to get to the federal building, you have to apply and things like this, and then you have a court date and you gotta go. And then when that process is over, that takes like a year or two. And sometimes it takes five. You know what I'm saying? And that is the whole process. And you gotta wait until your name comes up. And then you gotta wait for a court date. And then you might not even get a court date. So that is a headache. And then finally, when they do all that process and they finally get someone to help them to do their papers, they have to pay hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars to get their papers. And then they do that process and everything's coming one by one. So I think it's like first you get a ID or a green card. I think it's like a green card or some type of visa or something like that. First, you get a green card to say, hey, I'm legal in the country, I can stay here. Then you wait 3 to 6 months and you get a social, right? But the social does not guarantee you to work in the country. So just because you have a social does not mean you can work. Then you have another 3 to 6 months until you get the actual working permit where you can work in the country. Then I think you have to wait a little bit of time for that to activate. So, like, it's a long, horrible process for these people. If you thought these people are protesting for no reason, they're definitely protesting for a reason. These people have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to come to a refugee camp, thousands of dollars to enter the country, thousands of dollars to fucking get their papers, and just to have a president like Donald Trump and say, you know what? We don't give a fuck. You're leaving. We're going to kick you out. Anyway, there's nothing more we can do. So, I mean, they say that's not what's going on, but clearly that's what's going on because why are people protesting? You know what I'm saying? And then some of these people that has been over here that are immigrants and migrants have been living in this country for what, 20 years, 30 years, 30 plus years? Yeah. And then they had kids who don't have papers. Kids never even been to where they're from. They don't even know nothing about that going on over there. They don't know the country. Some of these kids don't even speak the language. Do you know how many kids that I know that only their parents speak Spanish? They understand everything, but the kids don't speak English. I mean Spanish. The kids only speak English. They don't even know Spanish, and then you're kicking them out the country because their parents are illegal. They may have had a kid in where they're from, brung them over here at a very young age, and those kids don't even speak Spanish. They speak English. And then you're taking these kids out the country. You know what I'm saying? And you're saying, hey, you can't live here. You're illegal. You got to go back to where you came from. Those kids were born here or raised here from birth or as a baby, as a little baby. They don't even know where they're going. They got to pack up, leave everything behind, and freaking just pack up and just leave. And they don't even know where they're going. And then on top of that, rumors are, and these are the alleged rumors are they taking them to a Venezuela camp. So, I mean, what are these people supposed to, how are they supposed to act? How are they supposed to think? What are they supposed to do if you got kicked out of your house? Like, what are you supposed to do? So right now I'm just feeling for everybody because I have a lot of Hispanic friends and Belizean friends, African friends, and they tell me these things and what they're going through. And um, I have different, I'm American, but I have friends that are not American and they tell me what they go through. So it's just unbelievable. what they're going through. And some people have been going to college here. They almost have their bachelor's, their master degrees, and then boom, deported. So it's like everything they worked hard for wiped away. And then, like I said, they pay thousands of dollars to come here. And then they pay hundreds of dollars to get these papers. And some of them have to pay thousands of dollars to get their papers, depending on your situation in the system. So it's like, damn, you know? And then when ICE knocks on your door and say, hey, you can't work here, it's like, damn, I'm paying rent. I have a car note. California rent is high. Everybody knows California rent is just like New York's rent. I don't know if it's a little bit higher because this is the land, and I mean, this is the land where dreams come true. This is Hollywood. This is LA. This is California. Good weather. So yeah, the rent is high. The rent is high. So yes, it's just sad. And they're protesting all around. So if you didn't know what these people go through to get their papers, let me tell you, it's not an easy process. You get one ID and it comes after you pay 3 months later. You get your social. That comes 3 to 6 months later. And it does not guarantee you to work. You cannot work with that. And then once you receive your workings permit, which comes last in the mail 3 to 6 months later, then you can work. So if you didn't know that, now you know. And then also, these people have to pay before they come into the country. They have to apply for visas, they have to apply for green cards and things like this before they come here. They have to fill out papers within their own country before they come here. Some people, they pay under the table to come here, and they've been paying what, 45,000, 20,000, 100,000. Like, people pay a lot of money to come over here. We don't know exactly who they're paying. I'm thinking they paying immigration. I don't know. But then they say there's illegal people, but it's like, I don't think they're just coming in the country to like that. I don't know how they're coming in, but it's just very sad. It's just very sad to watch because what if you're a person who paid like $1,000 to get your papers, and then the immigration federal building closed down, and now you paid all this money, and then they closed down and said, you know what, you can't stay here, you know? Because then we have to think about, why are these people really upset? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that we just don't know about that's going on. And you have to keep that in mind still. You can't just assume. So, yeah, it's just very sad. A lot is going on in LA. And we just have to pray about it and just show a little bit more love, show a little bit more humanity, show a little bit more kindness. Because right now people are feeling the downs of Los Angeles. People are hurting. People are losing family members. People are, they're just don't know where to go from here. People are getting detained and going back to a country with nothing. People are literally saving their whole lives and building their whole lives and paying high rent just to leave. I mean, what if your house got stripped away from you and you were left with nothing, and they sent you somewhere you don't even know about, and you're detained and you're in prison, and you're just like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? It's very sad. And then we're seeing it on the news, and it's very real. Just like everybody thought COVID wasn't real, it's very real. Everybody experienced somebody that got COVID and eventually passed, or somebody. Period. Everybody knows someone who died of COVID. Everybody knows, so you just gotta show kindness. Show that you're a human being. And it's not funny what they're going through at all. People are literally getting tear gas, and they're in the streets of Long Beach, Compton, LA. They're in multiple cities protesting. It's not a joke. So, and the police officers are working tirelessly, you know, to detain these people and get these people under control because they're tearing up the city as well. You know, protesters. They're trying to have a peaceful protest, but when law enforcement is tear gassing and irritating people and ICE is sent out and just detaining people and locking people up and saying and getting their hands on any and everybody and locking them up, you know, it's sad. People are going to start tearing things up. So we just have to be a little bit more kinder, show a little more remorse, and just show a little bit more love, you know, because we're hurting here in California. So I just wanted to say that and be nice because it could happen to anybody, you know? We don't know what this country is going to be after this. So we just want to share a little bit more love. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Chanel Talks podcast. Bye.